CNN is being mocked widely online for their latest, we are freeing the world, we're rescuing the world. Anytime the U.S. goes into a country and tries to destroy them or what have you, there's always CNN there on the front lines, ready to show you what wonderful good the U.S. is doing. Here is Clarissa Ward. She's in Syria. She's a well-known CNN reporter, supposedly going into one of the prisons and helping to, or observing, not helping, but just observing as they free the prisoners in Assad's prisons. But, as we'll see, whatever it is CNN is doing is bizarre. See how believable you find this. Here she is with the Syrian rebels walking through the recently freed prison.
James Air Force Intelligence Headquarters.
These are English letters.
We are hoping to find traces of Austin Tice, an American journalist held captive in Syria since 2012. It's one of many secret prisons across the city.
So far, fine. Okay, they're in a prison that had recently been freed. It's now empty now. She's looking for writing on the wall, I guess. But as you can imagine, that might stand to be a fairly boring CNN segment if it's just her walking through empty cells, right? And for some odd reason, she has to light the walls with her cell phone, despite the fact that she's got a camera crew with, one would assume, massive lights behind her. But no, I got to get out my cell phone. But that makes for a not very exciting piece if she's just wandering through empty rooms. You'll notice there are no shows there's no reality shows based on just empty rooms. There's no watch us explore empty rooms in Orange County. It doesn't exist. So gotta spice it up, don't we? Oh, yes, we do.
This specific branch was tasked with surveillance, arrest, and killing of all regime critics.
These are all cleaned up.
We don't find any hints of Tice, but come across something extraordinary.
I can't tell though. It might just be a blanket, but it's the only cell that's locked.
Okay, so that was an English voice speaking there. That was not one of the rebels. So it sounded maybe British, but I guess one of her crew, her producer or something. Her producer or a crew member stumbles upon the only locked cell that when they were freeing everyone in this prison, one cell locked. We're just going to leave one cell locked.
You gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door.
Now, why would you make someone turn the camera off while you shoot the lock off the cell door? I could see these rebels might not want other things to be seen, and I could see wanting people to get out of the way while I shoot the lock, but camera off? That serves zero purpose. Like, I don't want you to get hit by the bullet, so go around that wall or whatever. Okay, fine. But I don't want you to find out that perhaps the cell door was not locked. Perhaps it was not what we are telling you. The camera off thing is bizarre, and she doesn't even try to explain it. Just, clearly we got to turn off the camera while you shoot the lock off.
We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Now, this is a completely empty cell. If someone were locked in a cell, I know this is shocking, there would be things like feces, urine, various things that show a human existed there. But no, this is a completely empty cell and a sleeping bag in the corner.
Is there someone there? Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
Actually, I think it's someone.
Hello?
Okay, I just moved.
Yeah. So.
So this guy comes out who doesn't seem like he's just waking up, right? This is a wide awake guy. Apparently did not hear when they shot the lock off his prison cell. That didn't wake him up, but someone peeking under the blanket woke him up. And now he's completely awake and doesn't even seem that shocked by a camera crew. Now, I get, maybe he dealt with guards with guns a lot, so maybe the gun didn't shock him, but American camera crew wouldn't be a little odd.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
It's okay.
And for some odd reason, the, I guess, producer or whoever decides to yell an English journalist at him several times, like he speaks English. Journalist! Journalist! Like,
It's okay. It's okay. جابوني من حمص. أيوة جابوني من حمص.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay.
Okay, you're okay.
أنت هلا حر دخل.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
well, I don't want to speed it up because then it looks like he's like blinking more than he actually is or whatever. I'll keep playing it in a second. But you'll notice she says he's been in this cell for 3 months. And I don't know if they've already said it. They'll say it later that no one had come to that. I'd opened the cell in 4 days. So 3 months total, 4 days since someone had given him food or water. Again, what don't you see in that cell? Any sign of shitting, pissing. Also, I got news for you. That is not a 3 months with no regular hygiene beard, okay? That beard, 4 days maybe. If he were clean shaven when the 4 days started, like if they were like, oh, 4 days is gonna come up where no one's gonna open this cell, so let's get you all cleaned up. Okay, then maybe. But this is not a man who's been locked in that same room for 3 months and has not seen food or water or anything in 4 days.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Okay. Does anyone have any water?
And also, I want to be clear that I'm not saying this couldn't have been a prisoner. I don't want to assume that this was not a political prisoner of Assad's. Very well may have been. But what they're telling us is bullshit. Like, this guy could have been a prisoner. He's just a prisoner that they told to hide under a blanket till we come through with our camera crew, and then we're going to lift it up, and then you go, oh, civilian. But he very well may have been a prisoner.
Water.
بدي اشرب مي.
Mike.
Mike.
Mike. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay. Okay, you're okay.
And then she's doing more of the acting than he is. Like, she seems like she's been rescued from a cell. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. And he's like, yeah, I'm just drinking some water. Just chill out, lady. I got this. It's so, but really the dumbest thing is that you clear out an entire prison. You leave one cell door locked for the American film crew to stumble upon.
You're okay. You're okay.
We start to walk him outside. Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free.
جابوني. هي ثالث سجن.
This is the third prison they brought me to, he says. The third prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky. He can finally see the sky.
انت حر
يلا ضو.
انت حر
يلا ضو.
روح احكي روح
يلا.
حد اصابك
My God.
And he doesn't ask any questions about what the hell's going on or anything, apparently. Then they sit him down and they basically immediately start an interview, which is, when you've been held in a cell for months on end, that's what you want to see is, let's sit in this chair and we're going to do a CNN interview for you. Also, clothes strikingly clean. If you've been locked in that cell for 3 months, that jacket would not look pretty. I slept on the floor of a comedy club once, and the following day, my jacket looked like shit. So, I don't think this is... Again, I'm hesitant to laugh that much because this guy very well may have been a prisoner that they just then told to, hey, why don't you go lay under your blanket and we'll pretend to find you, or whatever. Like, it could have been stupid, but a stupid video, but also a prisoner. But this is just CNN's turning into SNL. I mean, honestly. By the way, Clarissa Ward has, I can't remember what story it was, but she's gotten shit before for making stuff up, for like setting up scenes. But let's remember, CNN has a wonderful history of hilarious scenes, even in Syria. This is just their Syria work. Here is the CNN reporter supposedly smelling a backpack with sarin on it, which would probably kill her pretty quickly.
I mean, there's definitely something that stings.
These backpacks belong to Malaz and Masa, 7-year-old twins from Duma.
So if it were an actual chemical attack with sarin, which is what they were claiming at the time, and you then found clothing from that and then stuck your nose in it, like, you would not be good. Your systems would start failing pretty quickly. Like, just laughably fake shit. And I'm guessing that Clarissa Ward and her producers tell themselves, like, look, this prison was freed a couple of days ago. So, if we go in and we find someone, it's basically the truth. We're just reenacting it. I assume that's what they're telling themselves. Also, you have to think about the fact, who is it that CNN chooses to videotape and say, look how tough it is. Oh my goodness, how good it is. They've been freed. Which one is it? It's only the prisoners getting out of of Assad's prisons. They're not filming the prisoners in, I don't know, Israel's prisons right now. Like the thousands, and I mean thousands of Palestinians that have had no trial or jury or any of that shit that are locked up in Israeli prisons right now. Nope, no coverage of that. We're not shooting the lock off of one of those cages and stumbling in and going, how long you been in here? Let's show you the light for the first time. No, for some odd reason, specifically certain prisons are worth covering on CNN. I want to see CNN do a video segment where they're liberating prisons in the largest prison state in the world, the United States. I want to see them stumbling through the darkened hallways of Rikers and freeing, some guy who was 19 when he got arrested with a baggie of crack on him, and now he's been in there for 7 years and he's been abused and doesn't get to see his family. I'd like to see CNN shoot the lock off of one of those cages and free the man and go, oh, it's okay now. It's okay. Here's some water. Here's some food. You're going to be okay. Where is that CNN report? Plus, that CNN report, think of all the money they'd save. Wouldn't even need to fly across the world. They could do it right here at home. They could do it 12 feet from the CNN offices, in Atlanta, or the CNN studio in Washington, D.C. They could do it. Still be a great report, wouldn't it? But no, they're not doing that report. Only Assad's prisoners are the only ones who have been abused. And of course, CNN is not going to mention who it is that is freeing these people. These are, and again, I want the people free. I'm not opposed to that, but I think if you don't want to be lying by omission, you have to go, okay, the people freeing the Assad's prisoners are jihadists and extremists, some of which were formerly, including the leader of them, some of which were formerly in Al-Qaeda, or Al-Qaeda rebranded like Al-Nusra or ISIS, and they may have in the past executed people in the streets for being the wrong religion, and they may be doing that again in Syria right now. I feel like that would be kind of honest, no? But that's not what CNN does, folks. That's not their jam, man.